Well, this is like a big part of like our training process with my team members as well, because like you said, you must have that introduction. You must have that personal contact, face to face. I mean, I'm even shaking hands still. Most people that come in the gym are shaking hands again, but if not, I tell my team members start with a pound, and that's how you get them started on the tour. Next step, right before we start the walkthrough of showing them what we have to offer. How did you hear about us? You want to know, how did you hear about us? And you want to
Yes, good
know
point.
that it's things like, oh, my friend comes here. Oh, who's your friend? Or I saw, a lot of things that we do right now is apparel. I sell our apparel really cheap, really reasonable. We don't make a lot of money on it. However, I believe that it's worth more to get it out there cheap where we're not losing money on it and people see the logo everywhere. Um, you always want to find out where they heard about you or saw you. Then, welcome to Roosevelt and Fitness. You take them through the tour. As you're taking them through the tour, I always train my staff members the same way. As you're walking with them, kind of read the person, figure out what they're going to be interested in, and guide them to that direction. What do you like to do at the gym? Well, I like to hit the weights. I like to hit this. I like to hit that. Most women, well, I don't really know. Oh, would you be interested in fitness classes? Yes. Well, here's our fitness class schedule on the wall. But you show them the whole gym, and they actually say that sometimes that's not a good way to sell, but we've sold that way since day one. You show them the cleanliness, you show them everything's in great shape. There's nothing ruined. The walls are pretty. The bathrooms are clean. You show them where the changing rooms are. You can actually, another great way when you're doing sales is find somebody on the floor that you know. I mean, we know a lot of members, obviously.
You took
Hey,
it out of
Al.
my mouth, man.
Yeah, Al. This is Samantha. She's looking to join up, and Al will sell for you, just like you just said, because it's the truth. That's what you
Yep.
want. You want the heart to heart. This is the type of facility we have. We're a community gym. We're like a big family unit here. You're going to meet friends here. There's the camaraderie's great. After we walk them through the gym, we take them over to our athletic center, show them that. And that's what we're going into as we're walking. We don't give them a lot of time to think. You want to be able to flood their mind with so much information at the end of your tour. If they don't have any questions to ask you, you did your job. And that's what I tell my staff members. You go into the hours of operation. You go into, so here's how it works. All classes are included. Your first month's payment's $49.99. That includes your $25 annual fee and your first month's payment of $24.99. If you need to cancel for any reason whatsoever, all we ask is you give us 10 business days notice in writing and no questions asked. That's it. Comes right out of your credit or debit account on the day that you sign up. Do you have any questions? And most of the time, you cover it properly. They're not going to have questions. They're just going to
It's a
go,
lay down. It's a
let's
lay
do it.
down.
Yeah, let's do it. And
Yep.
that's what it boils down to is just making them feel comfortable, going over all the details, unless you get a real, I don't like to say pain in the ass, but somebody who's a real stickler on, well,
They just
like,
want price.
yeah, and there's going to be questions that we don't hit. Like the biggest question always is for any gym salesperson, especially if you have a new person, when are your busiest hours? Busiest hours are the same time at every gym around the country, 4 o'clock in the afternoon till about 6:30 at night when everybody's getting off work. But these are the things that do that. Another good aspect is when you first meet the person, you're walking through the gym. I always tell my staff members, these people feel very awkward, most of them. Most of them are not gym people. They're stepping out of their comfort zone, coming into an area where they don't feel at themselves, but they want to jump on the same bandwagon we're on. Assume they belong to a gym already. Even if they look overweight or unhealthy. So where do you work out now? They all
Exactly.
of a sudden perk right up. Like,
Yep.
oh, well, I don't really work out anywhere right now. Like, oh, okay, so you don't even belong to a gym right now. Okay, well, that's great. This is a good thing. Let's get you on your healthy lifestyle track and get you going. Great. But if they did belong to a gym, you made them feel like they don't look out of shape. They don't look like they're out of sorts. They look like they belong. Another thing right now, especially with the COVID, post COVID, a lot of you gym guys are gonna find this. Everybody's gonna come and go, well, I mean, I built a gym in my garage, and these people that build their gyms in their garages, they are so proud of themselves. for spending $2,000, $3,000 on rinky dink residential equipment, and I own my own gym in my garage. Yeah, great. Well, I always tell people that's awesome, cool, great. You paid for, 15 years, 20 years of a real good gym membership that you could have just had. But I get it. And I understand with COVID, it helps. With some other people, they don't like to come to the gyms. But here's my salesy pitch to that. And I tell them that. I say, look, here's my gym owner sales pitch to what you just told me. And it's going to sound salesy to you, but here it is. Working out at home, there's too many distractions. The dog's barking, the laundry's there, the wife's calling you, your husband's calling you, the phone's ringing, the kids are screaming. There's too much.
The
This is
TV's
your
there, the refrigerator's there.
yeah. For 83 cents per day, you have a place that you can come and call your club, your gym, and come for 45 minutes and do your workout for you and get lost in your workout. I mean, what else can you do that's that cheap? This Starbucks coffee cost me $4. I mean, come on. I mean,
Well,
so that those are other aspects to during the tour that you might come across, especially this time of post COVID. But yeah, introduction, having the right tour, having all your staff members lined up so they all do the same way. It's all important.
100%.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And it's funny because you did something which I don't even know if you were aware of, but when you said 83 cents a day, you were breaking it down. You're breaking the membership down to the ridiculous. So it just sounds so like to say no to that is just unheard of. But that would be more towards the end if somebody's giving you rebuttals of when I would
Correct.
probably do that.
Right.
On more of the tour, you said everything that you just said is basically selling value and not price selling. So that's what happens if you're running a club where you're price selling. I hope it's $9.99 or $15 a month membership, because otherwise, if it's not, you're going to have the person say, okay, I have to think about it and leave. Because when people come into your gym, trust me, they have a broken record spinning around in their head, and it's saying, Planet Fitness is $9.99. Planet Fitness is $9.99. And the only way to get around that is to value sell. Because if you try to price sell against that and you're $35 a month, what do you think the person's going to do? They're not going to sign up. If you're a nice person, they'll tell you they have to think about it, which we both know means that they're never coming back.
Right.
But to value sell, like what you just said, showing the cleanliness, you're going over their goals. Maybe ask them when you're giving the tour, which is the next thing that I'm going into, is starting the tour to give a proper tour. Ask them closing questions, assumptive closing questions. So, Chris, how many times a week do you think you're going to work out here? Talk to them like they're already signed up. The little things will have the biggest impact because they'll slowly start to visualize themselves coming here 3 times a week. And, like what you said, introduce them to somebody on the floor. Every gym out there, I don't care if you're watching this, if you're in Canada, if you're in Texas, if you're in California, or in New York, every gym has that character that comes in that wants to talk to you more than they actually work out. Use that guy to your advantage when you are giving a tour. Let him, because a lot of these people, yes, you're going to have people that walk into the gym that already know what they're doing and they just moved and they're looking for a new location to work out. Most of the time, it's people that have thought about it for 6 or 8 months that have just now walked through the door and they're kind of scared. Some of these people are looking for any excuse in the world to not sign up, to feel better about not signing up. And it's our jobs to kind of motivate them and listen to them on what they want to do, act sincere with helping them. And it doesn't matter if there's a Planet Fitness next to you that's $9.99 and your gym's $35. They will sign up at your club because your club, you just told them, is going to be the difference. Because these people, what I've noticed anyway, there's a vicious cycle that goes on. Sign up in January or February, use it for 2 weeks or a month, stop seeing results, stop working out for 8 months, pay 9 months of dues, cancel, not do anything until January again, sign up at another club with red equipment or whatever, thinking that's going to be the savior when it's not. But it's important when you are giving the tour, like you said, as of right now, cleanliness. If your gym's not clean, if you have dust bunnies under the treadmill, you have sweat stains on the side of the treadmill, you're not getting that sale unless you're the only club in town for 50 miles. Even then, you're going to get bad reviews online with the person signing up and not being happy about it. So we went over introduction to another member on the floor, being cleanly, The other thing is, what are you going to show on the tour? So the whole point of when we are doing the introduction, asking for goals, if somebody just told me that they want to gain 40 pounds, I'm not going to spend most of my tour on the cardio, because after a minute or even 30 seconds, they're going to tune me out. They just told me they're interested in gaining weight. So they like lifting weights. They want to look at the machines, show them why your machines are different, show them how there's no dust bunnies underneath the dumbbell rack. Point this stuff out and put them on the machine. I would put people on the machine just to feel the range of motion. If somebody told me I'm trying to get my back bigger, put them on an arm machine. You would never dream of buying a car and the sales guy not letting you do a test drive. In fact, if
Right.
you went to a car dealership and talked to a sales guy and that sales guy didn't get you into a car for a test drive, that guy got in trouble. So, there was a saying in the car world that the feel of the wheel seals the deal. And in the gym world, I kind of made up the feel of the steel seals the deal. You know, so it's the same thing. You always the basics. Your employees, chances are, I think they're probably going to be just out of college or maybe in college. So you can't get down on them too much, but you can have a structure in place where they get the basics down, going over goals, showing the tour of what the client is interested in, and having everyone replicate that and slow down the sales process. Just because the person says as soon as they come in, if someone says I'm ready to sign up, that doesn't always mean they're ready to sign up. Sometimes they're just there to look at prices and say, okay, thank you, I'll see you later. Slow down
Right.
the sales process. Find out what brought them into that gym today. And that's what I always used to do on my tour. And then after the tour, go back and start the price presentation. But was there anything about like what I said on my tour that you did agree with, didn't agree with, or anything like that? Because again, this is just me and you going back and forth.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. And, guys, I always say to all my staff members too, because I have actually every staff member I have is a member. So I do it that way on purpose because they tell the person coming in, whether it's, Andrea, who's, in her late 50s, who just does yoga and fitness classes, or if it's Jason, who's a weightlifter, or no matter whoever it may be, they can relate. Like, look, I was in your shoes at one time too. And they'll say things like the truth, like, I met Chris and he's a great owner and he just doesn't take, you can't take any crap either. If you got to open on time and let your facility sell itself. And that's the way I've done it since day one. And that's the way I still do it. If people don't walk in your door and get that tour and don't every once in a while say, wow, this is actually a really nice place. I had a lady, we actually recently had a staff meeting. And I do all my staff meetings on Zoom now because it's so nice because I could do it from home and everybody could be home. It's great. I actually promote that. If you want to have meetings, I do quarterly meetings now via Zoom. It's great. So we actually had a recent meeting because with COVID and cleaning the gym, and we were all over the place. And we've always been extremely clean, but we actually started to hone in on certain types of aspects of cleaning again, and it really makes the gym pop. Well, last week I came in, and one of my employees, or actually staff members, I like to call them, handed me a note, and it was from some lady who got a guest pass, and that guest pass said, "This is the cleanest gym I've ever been to." So let your facility sell itself. If you train your team members properly, proper introductions, do the tour right, and the place is looking sharp, you're going to sell gym memberships. If you're going to be competing against the big gyms, I just tell everybody that wants to open up their own gym, because people come to you a lot. You're that guy they look up to. You're doing like a dream job that they want. I don't think they all understand what they're getting themselves into, but it is a great, rewarding business to be in. But I just say, look, be yourself. The gym you would want to go to is the gym that you want to run. And that's how it is. If something's out of
100%.
order, you better do your very best to get it fixed immediately, because people that come in to check out your facility will see these things. So I think Anthony touched on a lot of good things. I think that you guys can all definitely learn from some of these tactics. Just be yourself, be honest, don't be too salesy, and don't be pushy. If they want to join and they don't right then and there, they will be back. And in our facility, we have like an 85% sign up rate. even if they come back a day or two, maybe a week later. You don't know what kind of position somebody's in. They might be tight with money. You don't want to ruin that relationship that could possibly be a good one in the future.